Was Daemon Targaryen, the rogue prince, betrayed in his final fiery moments above the god's eye? A hidden conspiracy, lurking in the shadows of House of the Dragon, might just unravel the truth behind his legendary clash with Aemond and Vhagar. A truth that could rewrite the dance of the dragons and shake the very foundations of Westeros. If you're hooked on dragons, treachery, and theories that hit like dragonfire, you're in for a wild ride. Before we dive into this explosive revelation, do me a quick favor. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive into the world of House of the Dragon. Trust me, this theory will leave you questioning everything, so let's jump in. Was Daemon Targaryen betrayed? The hidden conspiracy behind his final moments revealed. Picture the sky above the god's eye, torn apart by storm and flame. Daemon Targaryen, astride his blood-red dragon Caraxes, charges toward his nephew Aemond, rider of the monstrous Vhagar. It's the ultimate showdown, a moment etched into fire and blood as the climax of the rogue prince's saga. History says they both plummet to their deaths in the lake below. No bodies ever found, just whispers, myths, and unanswered questions. But what if Daemon's fall wasn't an accident or a heroic sacrifice? What if someone, or a group of someones, wanted him gone? This isn't just a theory, it's a conspiracy that could change how you see House of the Dragon, exposing a web of betrayal that stretches from Dragonstone to King's Landing and beyond. Let's peel back the layers and uncover who might have orchestrated Daemon's demise. First, let's talk about Daemon Targaryen, the man at the heart of this storm. Played with magnetic intensity by Matt Smith, Daemon is the rogue prince, a warrior, dragon rider, and schemer who thrives on chaos. He's Rhaenyra's husband, her fiercest ally, and the backbone of the Black faction in the Dance of the Dragons, the brutal civil war tearing House Targaryen apart. By the time we reach the battle above the God's Eye, Daemon is a legend, but he's also a threat. His ambition, his ruthlessness, and his unyielding loyalty to Rhaenyra make him a target for enemies, and maybe even allies. Could someone close to him have set him up to fall? The clues are there, hidden in Fire and Blood's murky accounts and House of the Dragon's subtle hints, and we're about to connect the dots. Why suspect betrayal? For one, Fire and Blood is written by Archmaester Gildane, who relies on biased, conflicting sources like Mushroom the Fool and Septon Eustace. These narrators twist the truth, leaving gaps that scream for speculation. The battle above the God's Eye is shrouded in mystery. No witnesses, no bodies, just stories. Then there's Daemon himself, a man who's survived countless battles, exiles, and plots. Would he really charge into a suicidal fight without a plan? Or was he lured into a trap, his trust exploited by someone he never suspected? The stakes of the Dance of the Dragons, power, loyalty, and survival make betrayal not just possible, but likely. So who had the motive, means, and opportunity to betray the rogue prince? Let's start with the most obvious suspects, the Greens. Led by Aegon Sode and Alicent Hightower, Daemon is their greatest threat, a master strategist who's already conquered Harrenhal and rallied the Riverlands for Rhaenyra. Aemond, the Greens' most dangerous dragon rider, has a personal vendetta against Daemon, blaming him for the war's escalation and the death of Lucerys Velaryon. Could the Greens have orchestrated a trap? Maybe Aemond didn't act alone. Imagine a scenario where spies fed Daemon false information, luring him to the God's Eye under the pretense of a one-on-one duel. The Greens could have rigged the battlefield, perhaps sabotaging Caraxes' saddle or spreading rumors to isolate Daemon from his allies. Aemond's confidence in facing Daemon, despite Caraxes' ferocity, suggests he might have known something Daemon didn't. But betrayal from enemies is too easy. What if the conspiracy came from within the Blacks? Daemon's own faction is a nest of rivalries and fragile loyalties. Rhaenyra, despite her love for Daemon, has moments of doubt, especially in Fire and Blood, when rumors about Daemon and Nettles surface. Could her paranoia, stoked by advisors, have led her to see Daemon as a liability? Rhaenyra's inner circle, men like Corlys Velaryon the Sea Snake or lesser lords like Alfred Broom, might have feared Daemon's influence. He's not just Rhaenyra's husband, he's a potential king, a wild card who could seize the throne for himself or his heirs. A desperate faction within the Blacks could have leaked Daemon's plans to the Greens, ensuring his death while keeping their hands clean. Let's zoom in on Corlys Velaryon. The Sea Snake is a powerhouse, commanding the Blacks' naval strength and wielding immense political clout. But he and Daemon clash over strategy and pride. In Fire and Blood, Corlys's loyalty wavers after personal losses, like the death of his wife, Rhaenys. Could he have seen Daemon as a threat to his own legacy, especially for his grandsons, Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey? Betraying Daemon to weaken Rhaenyra's inner circle would secure Corlys's control over the Blacks' future. Maybe he tipped off Aemon's forces, knowing Daemon's death would shift power dynamics. It's a cold, calculated move, but Corlys is no stranger to hard choices. Another suspect, the River Lords, particularly House Tully, or the Blackwoods, Daemon's base. At Harrenhal puts him in their orbit, but his ruthless tactics, like burning villages to draw out Aemond, alienate allies. The Riverlands are a hotbed of feuds, and houses like Bracken or Piper might resent Daemon's dominance. A cunning lord could have fed Aemond intelligence, ensuring Daemon's downfall while pretending loyalty. The Blackwoods, tied to the old. Gods might have mystical motives, perhaps a vision warning them Daemon's ambition would doom the realm. Harrenhal's eerie atmosphere, with its weirwood and hauntings, could have fueled such a betrayal, tying the conspiracy to the supernatural. Now let's get wild. What if the betrayal wasn't human at all? The God's Eye is a place of ancient magic, home to the Isle of Faces and the Green Men, enigmatic figures linked to the Children of the Forest. Could Daemon have been manipulated by otherworldly forces? Maybe he received a vision at Harrenhal, possibly even from Bran Stark, warging from the future, urging him to face Aemond. But what if that vision was a trap designed to remove Daemon from the board? The old gods, or something darker, might see him as a threat to the balance of Westeros, his chaos too dangerous for the coming long night. This would tie House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones in a mind-bending way, making Daemon a pawn in a cosmic game. How could the betrayal have happened? Let's reconstruct the scene. Daemon, at Harrenhal, plans his strike against Aemond, knowing Vhagar's size makes her a tough target. Someone, maybe a spy in his camp, a river lord or a black traitor, sends word to Aemond, revealing Daemon's location and strategy. To make it convincing, they might have tampered with Caraxes' gear, weakening his harness or saddle, ensuring Daemon couldn't escape the fall. Or perhaps they poisoned his mind with false intel, making him believe he could win a duel that was rigged from the start. The lack of witnesses at the God's Eye is key. No one survives to tell the tale, which is perfect for a conspiracy. The storm, the chaos, the lake's depths, all hide the truth. What's the evidence? Fire and Blood's ambiguity is our first clue. The book's sources disagree on details, and the absence of Daemon's body fuels doubt. In House of the Dragon, subtle hints, like Daemon's isolation at Harrenhal or tensions with Rhaenyra, suggest he's vulnerable. The show's love for, foreshadowing like Viserys' dagger or Aegon's dream, means betrayal fits its style. On X, fans are buzzing with theories. Some point to Corlys' ambition, others to mystical interference, and a few even suspect Nettles, Daemon's rumored lover, as a double agent. These posts show how much this idea resonates, tapping into our love for Westeros' scheming underbelly. Let's explore the fallout. If Daemon was betrayed, the dance of the dragons shifts dramatically. Without him, the Blacks lose their greatest asset, and Rhaenyra's campaign falters. Her grief and paranoia deepen, leading to mistakes like the fall of King's Landing or the betrayal by her own allies. But what if Daemon survived the betrayal? Imagine him crawling ashore, battered but alive, realizing he was set up. He might go rogue, hunting the traitors within the Blacks, or flee to Essos, plotting a comeback. This would turn him into a tragic anti-hero, driven by vengeance rather than loyalty, and add a thrilling new arc to House of the Dragon. For Rhaenyra, the betrayal would be devastating. If she discovers Corlys or her allies turned on Daemon, her trust shatters, fracturing the Black faction. She might double down on ruthless tactics, alienating houses like Stark or Arryn, or spiral into despair, hastening her downfall. If Daemon returns, accusing her of complicity, even wrongly, their love could turn toxic, mirroring the Targaryen madness that haunts their bloodline. The conspiracy would expose the Blacks' weaknesses, proving that even the strongest alliances crumble. Under ambition and fear, Aemon's role is crucial. If he was in on the betrayal, it makes him an even deadlier villain, outsmarting his uncle with cunning rather than brute force. But what if Aemond was also betrayed? Maybe the Green's own spies double-crossed him, ensuring both riders died. To clear the board for Aegon too, this would add a layer of irony. Aemond, the schemer, out-schemed. If both survive, the conspiracy could spark a personal war between them, turning the dance into a vendetta-driven bloodbath, with each man hunting the other across Westeros. The broader impact on the dance is staggering. A betrayed Daemon means the war was never a fair fight. The Blacks might have won key battles, like the Gullet if Daemon had lived. A stronger Black faction could secure Rhaenyra's throne, preventing the Regency era and strengthening House Targaryen for generations. This ripples into Game of Thrones. A robust Targaryen dynasty might stop Robert's rebellion, meaning no Ned Stark's death, no War of the Five Kings, and a Westeros ready for the White Walkers with dragons intact. But betrayal could also deepen the war's devastation, killing more dragons and sowing chaos that weakens the realm for centuries. Let's consider a mystical angle. If the old gods or the children orchestrated Daemon's fall, it suggests he was a threat to their plans. Maybe his ambition clashed with the balance needed to face the long night. A vision at Harrenhal could have lured him to the God's Eye, making him think he was fulfilling a prophecy when he was actually being eliminated. This ties Daemon to Bran Stark, the Night King and the Song of Ice and Fire, making his betrayal a pivotal moment in Westeros's cosmic destiny. The God's Eye, with its weirwoods and green men, is the perfect stage for such a twist. Who else could be affected? Daemon's daughters, Baela and Rhaena, would be shattered by his death, but a surviving Daemon could rally them, turning Baela into a fierce dragon rider and helping Rhaena hatch mourning. Corlys, if guilty, might face retribution, losing his fleet or his life. Minor characters, like the small folk or river lords, could rise up if the betrayal is exposed, sparking a populist revolt against both factions. The conspiracy would prove that no one, not even the rogue prince, is safe in Westeros. Halfway through, let's take a breath. If this theory's got you hooked, drop a comment. Who do you think betrayed Daemon? Corlys, the River Lords, the Greens, or something supernatural? And if you're loving this dive into Westeros's darkest secrets, please hit that subscribe button and join our community of dragon nerds. We're only halfway, and the conspiracy's about to get even wilder. Now, the counter-arguments. Why? Might Daemon not have been betrayed? Maybe his fall was just a bold, reckless choice, true to his character. Daemon's a risk-taker, and charging Vhagar fits his style. No conspiracy needed. Fire and Blood's lack of clear evidence could mean the story's exactly as it seems, a tragic duel with no hidden hands. The show's focus on Daemon's loyalty to Rhaenyra makes betrayal by her or the Blacks feel out of character. And Aemon's straightforward hatred suggests he'd want a fair fight, not a setup. Plus, a conspiracy requires coordination. And the chaos of war makes that tricky. But these doubts don't hold up against the evidence. House of the Dragon thrives on betrayal. Think of Alicent's coup or Larys Strong's schemes. The show's creators love subverting fire and bloods. Gaps and Daemon's isolation at Harrenhal screams vulnerability. The lack of witnesses at the God's Eye is too convenient, and the show's subtle cues, like Daemon's tense exchanges with Rhaenyra, hint at cracks in the Blacks. X-posts are ablaze with fans spotting these clues, from Corlys's shifty glances to Harrenhal's eerie vibes, proving this theory has legs. Let's game out some scenarios. Scenario 1. Corlys betrays Daemon, leaking his plans to Aemond. Daemon dies, but Rhaenyra discovers the truth, exiling Corlys and losing her fleet, dooming the Blacks. Scenario 2. The River Lords set Daemon up, resentful of his tyranny. He survives, returns in secret, and burns their castles, becoming a rogue avenger. Scenario 3. The old gods manipulate Daemon through a vision, ensuring his fall to protect the future. He lives, discovers the betrayal, and seeks out the Green Men, unlocking a mystical destiny tied to the White Walkers. Scenario 4. Rhaenyra's advisors, fearing Daemon's power, orchestrate the trap. He returns, confronts her, and their fractured love splits the Blacks, handing victory to the Greens. Each scenario reshapes the story. A Black betrayal could destroy Rhaenyra's faction from within, while a Green conspiracy makes them unstoppable villains. A surviving Daemon could rewrite the war, either saving the Blacks or sparking a new conflict. A mystical betrayal ties House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones' bigger stakes, making Daemon a tragic hero in the fight against darkness. Fans love him for a reason. Matt Smith's Daemon is magnetic, and a betrayal would amplify his legend, giving us more of the Rogue Prince's fire. Why does this theory hit so hard? Because Daemon is House of the Dragon's pulse. His love, his fury, his flaws make him the show's core. A betrayal would expose the cost of power in Westeros, where even the mightiest fall to treachery. It's a story George R.R. Martin would relish, and the show's writers, Ryan Condal included, know how to twist the knife. This conspiracy isn't just about Daemon, it's about the fragility of trust, the weight of ambition, and the shadows that shape history. So what do you think? Was Daemon betrayed? Who pulled the strings? Corlys, the Greens, the River Lords, or the gods themselves? And if he survived, what would he do next? Drop your theories in the comments and let's keep this fire burning. If you loved this deep dive, smash that like button, share this video with every House of the Dragon fan you know, and subscribe if you're not already with us. Hit that bell for our next video. We've got more twists and secrets coming your way. One final question. If you were Daemon, betrayed by those you trusted, what would your next move be? Tell me below, and let's spark some epic debates. Until next time, keep your allies close and your dragons closer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.